In my endless search for the ultimate battle mage setup, a new weapon was introduced in a DLC, the Carian Sorcery Sword. So naturally, I had to try it out, and make my way through the game using only that, and the new DLC sorceries. Turns out this weapon is also a staggering machine. So let's get this challenge started. Now since you can only get this sword in the DLC, you have to fight Relana and find this chest. Oh look, there's a bird. Thanks bird. To even be able to wield this weapon, I need 16 int and 19 dex. But look, even the sheet looks sick. First things first, let's pick up the green turtle tally, which boosts stamina recovery. My good old friend Kenneth. I missed you, buddy. Not. Picking up the golden pickled foulfoot. Then I try running past the night scav, and one swipe of his axe chops me down. Hey, let's try that again. No, don't walk off. And down I go. At least he fell with me. But sadly that didn't count. Alright, down he goes. Let's go. First try. Going back to my roots of tiptoeing around Fort Farrot to grab the first half of the Dectus medallion. Then it's time for some stabbing to collect some runes for leveling myself and the weapon. Climbing the ladder in Fort Farrot to grab the second half of the Dectus medallion. Then it's time to fight Morgoth. This fight will basically determine how the rest of the run should go. My stabs only do 63 damage, but I keep pricking him, occasionally using Impaling Thrust, which takes a chunk out of his health. I get a stagger, and it looks like I'm getting somewhere, but he gets there faster than me. Definitely doable though. On my second attempt, I run out of FP, meaning I can't use Impaling Thrust, limiting my damage output significantly. At this point, I made the decision to head down south, picking a fight with an avatar, whose moves are quite clunky, so I managed to slash at him, while it tries to pounce on me, staggering it and decimating its health, upgrading the weapon to a +4 and confidently returning to face Morgoth. When he turns his back to me, I use the Impaling Thrust and stab him. Honestly, by now I should have a title, the Stagger Machine. 2 strong final butt slashes and the first boss is defeated. Running around the castle, collecting some smithing stones for upgrades, getting pelted by arrows and clawed at by birds as I run to the next boss. Charging at him, stabbing and slashing. As his health goes down, he lets out a scream and transitions to phase 2. Running in, dodging the flames spewing from his hand, and I go right back to stabbing. Staying up close, I take some hits, but he's no match for my thrusts as I stab him one final time and he disintegrates. We find Gostok stomping on Godric's body. I speak to him, perching the buckler shield to attempt parrying, then continuing on my journey to Liurnia. Now we splash our way to the sleeping dragon to grab the academy gate key, where I hop onto this lift and go down into the crystal tunnel, where it's time to grab some smithing stones. I swear that more than half of my deaths have been to falls. Like, what's going on? As my body gets riddled with arrows from the puppets, they surround me. Phew, that was a close one. And now it's time to face their leader. Since it gets hyper armor until I stagger it, my first 2 hits barely nick it. I try again, managing to get that stagger, and the following attacks rinse through its health. So I keep stabbing, stun locking it momentarily. Then it tries to swipe at me with its ring, pouncing, getting another stagger, and shattering it to pieces, rewarding me with the smithing stone bell bearing. Running to the Church of Inhibition and getting invaded by Vike. He charges at me, I thrust, becoming a stun locking machine, but he inflicts madness, so down goes some healing. Then I'm back to stabbing, getting another stun lock, and he goes down. Warping to Bellum Highway, where I cliff dive down and rush at the avatar. It stands no chance, I stab, easily getting 2 staggers in, chopping it down permanently. The next destination is these ruins, to speak with best girl Raya, where I get tasked with heading to the boiled prawn shack to get her necklace back. Then I have a quick convo with Enya at the round table, so that I can hear some yapping from Vara, where I end up with a festering finger. I have returned. You're welcome, milady. Off to the academy. Okay, ouch guys, please take it easy. Running away time over this bridge, then leap of fating down to the ledge to collect the Carian Knight armor set. Hopping onto the lift. Aww, it looks like I've adopted a new friend. Psych, I'm out of here. You win this time, Doggo. Whilst waiting for the lift, I equip the armor set. This armor set is so detailed, it looks pretty sick. In the school, I sprint through the hallways, dodging the prefects and charging into the fog. Big Red gets first blood, but then my sword cuts through his health. When his hits land, they hurt, but mine cut deeper, so I stab him to death, leaving the hole bloodier than ever. Outside once again, sprinting up the ramp and dodging the rolling ball, where I roll past Moongram, where he plummets to his death. Giving the door a mighty shove, I enter the Grand Library. Time to silence some singers. Shh, this is a library. Renala drops and I stab, and stab. Ow, what book did she just throw at me? The One Piece collection? A couple of impaling thrusts later and the first phase is done. Getting a stagger in early, then the wolves come out to play. I run, then try to leap in for an attack as she summons her dragon. I try stun locking her, but she backs up. As she summons her wolves again, I charge at her, and with 2 more slices, she fades into the moonlight. Damn, I'm going through these base game bosses like I'm the cookie monster at the bake sale. Then I go to Carian Manor, where I make my way across the bridges as the blues spawn in. Bye guys. Oh look, more of them. I've got bigger fish to fry, so I run straight past them into the arena. Hello Ghosty. I stab, poke, and slash, and the staggers kick in. I keep using the impaling thrust for maximum damage, whiffing a follow-up to a stagger, and then whiffing a few stabs. But with another swish, another one bites the dust. Hopping onto Torrent, galloping around the Three Sisters, jumping off some ledges onto the tower, and I purchased the Carian Retaliation Ash of War for my shield. Going to Rani's Rise up the lift, then stopping for a chat with the Queen. So time for Celavis, and a quick stop at Blythe, and last but certainly not least, EG. These people talk too much. So let's head to Celavis' Rise to take him up on his offer, where he keeps chatting, accepting his task and receiving a bottle of poison. Warping to Bellum Hideaway, stepping up to the grand lift of Dectus, and it takes me up to Atlas. Making a beeline for Lux Runes, I run into the fog to fight Gillica. Being the big girl she is, the first few hits miss her hitbox, but the next few land well. A stab to the butt gets a stagger, and with a few more slashes, she goes down, rewarding me with the Ritual Sword Tally from this chest. The tally increases the attack power by 10% while I'm at full HP. Finding Raya, now at the Grand Lift, I take her hand, where she takes me to join her family at Volcano Manor. Accepting, then I race up Mount Gilmer for the Golden Seed, one of the only reasons I came here in the first place. Then I head back to Atlas, where I hop my way to the Right Blood Ruins, touching the Bloodstain and invading the Beast Claw. He moves super fast, so a lot of my attacks whiff, whilst his hits land. I keep trying to use the Ash of War, successfully impaling him, then getting warped back to my reality. Grabbing the Smithing Stone Bell Bearing from the Seal Cave, then fleeing back out. Purchasing some Boiled Crab, which greatly boosts physical damage negation, and completing Celavis' questline, eventually being given the Magic Scorpion Charm, which increases my magic damage by 12%. I'm low on funds, so I make my way to the Putrid Avatar to collect some. After a whole lot of stabbing, and 3 staggers later, my pocket is full. Returning to Round Table, I purchase the smithing stones I need, and I upgrade the sword to a plus 12, doubling my damage output. Time to test out the new upgrades on DTS. Sneaking up behind him and giving his horse a quick jab. Getting a stagger, he tries summoning his lightning, but I interrupt with another stagger, and another one. I have him cornered, I stab and stab, but he takes a quick slash and cuts me down. Darn, so close. But I'm an unstoppable stagger machine, so I go again, stabbing till he's gone, rewarding me with access to the capital, where I run around, lighting the graces, and killing yet another avatar. Gathering a few friends along the way, I try my hand at parrying and riposting. Whoa, that's sick. Wait, am I dead? Oh yes. Yes I am. Hello Gold Boy. I tried to parry him unsuccessfully, so I just stick to what I know best. Stabbing and slashing. He doesn't make it easy though. But I finally get my stagger and he goes down, meaning I get my final tally pouch, where I equip my Scorpion Charm. After leveling up at the Round Table, ascending a staircase, going into the fog. Whoa, dude, chill. Okay, what am I doing? I'm not even trying to dodge. Oh right, I'm trying to parry. Yeah, emphasis on trying. Yeah, didn't get a single hit in, so let's not do that again. I switched to two-handing the weapon instead, removing some clothing to get light load, opting to move faster rather than more defense. There we go. My movements are smoother now, and I can actually dodge his quick attacks. It's a standoff. I charge in, he spins at me, but I stab, and he folds, exploding on me as he goes down, pushing open this giant metal door, then going up this lift, and down this one, to get to the Forbidden Lands, charging straight up the mountain, past the Black Blade Kindred, and up the grand lift to the mountaintops. I grab the smithing stone bell bearing from the Zamur ruins, traveling to Redmane Castle, taking this lift down to the beach, then portaling to meet the donkey sitter, staying right beneath him and taking swipes at his ankles, stabbing him till he shoots up into the air. I flee as he barrels back down, then I'm back beneath him, slashing at his Achilles. He slashes at Torrent, with one more slash he ends me. One more slash would have easily taken him out as well. Let's try that again. I'm caught beneath him rolling and begging the camera to keep up. I flee the meteors, then jump towards him slashing as I go, and he goes down, which opens up the parkour section of Nocturne City, where I run down to fight myself. You may not have any spells, but I have Impaling Thrust. Up in the mountaintops, I lure the Moonwalker to break the rock, and he's being super uncooperative, so it takes a couple of tries. He finally smashes it, I grab the smithing stone and move on, running across the chains to Flame Peak, entering the church, and killing Invader Akina, grabbing the ancient dragon stone from the skull, then heading to the Flaming Nightmare, starting off with the attack I'm unable to dodge. This should be great. I stab at his ankle as he keeps trying to back away from me. Phase change, and I flee his meteor rain, sticking to his ankles again to avoid his other attack, but I can barely see the damage and he keeps rolling away. He's at a fraction of health and I choose safety. Definitely don't want to do this tedious fight again. Eliminating him with no status was a pain, but very rewarding. This chain takes me up to the forge, where I take Melania's hand and she warms herself, setting the tree ablaze, making the long journey through Farum, dodging all sorts of enemies, and making it to the duo. My hand is too strong and I yeet both my pot throws, but my third sends Big Boy to Dreamland. I stab at Tall Boy, slashing him down to a sliver of his health, but I get caught in his black flames. On my second attempt, I was almost successful, but Tall and Lanky still cuts me down. I try equipping my shield since Big Boy can be parried, except I have no clue how to parry, so that doesn't go well. Tall Boy is my main problem, so eliminating him first is the priority. I stagger him, cut him down, then focus on Big Boy. Staggering machine activated, and he goes down too. A sneak attack by Tall Boy, but I quickly put him to sleep. A stagger, and he's out cold. Big Boy is back, but with a few thrusts, I'm finally victorious. Unfortunately, standing a little bit too close to the flames. Fully upgrading the weapon at round table. Then I allow Va'are to rip my finger off, giving me a medal to head to Moog. Taking the lift up, I come face to face with the Bloodlord. Honestly, first try went much better than I thought it would. Damn, so close. Attempting something different, I head to the Wailing Dunes. Look away, Blythe. Picking up the Warrior Jar Shard, which boosts attacks of skills by 10%, and replacing my Ritual Sword Tally so that it boosts my Impaling Thrust. I switch up my physic, aiming to get more staggers. Oh yes, here we go, one stagger. Finally, I got another one. A few more jabs and he's on the brink, but he whips around and I disintegrate. Come on, just die already. I just want this over with, so I slash and stab, until finally he is vanquished. Switching back my physics since I didn't even get a single stagger that whole time. Yoinking on a finger, gaining access to the DLC. Grabbing the Blessed Blue Dew Tally from the Church of Benediction for that passive FP regen. Racing towards the Ancient Dragon Man, he gets first blood, but my thrusts are more powerful. So then I hop into the Dragon Spit to face the real version of him. I slice him down, but he leaps and leaps, and he takes me down. On my second attempt, I stab and stab till he's stun locked, and he's the one who goes down this time. At Caro's hidden grave, I step up to the altar and grab my first spell for the run, the Rings of Spectral Light, meaning I can do this now. Picking a fight with a hippo, the spell has quite a good reach, and I take him down pretty easily. Next I head to Castle Ensis, fighting the Troll Knight. I could just walk past him, but I get a good frost proc, whilst he uses me as his punching bag. Why am I doing this? So I retreat up the steps, he tries to follow me, getting stuck, and I slash him down. At the round table again, I put the Carian Retaliation Ashavor on the Magic Wolf Crest shield. This would be fantastic if only I could parry. Traveling back to Castle Ensis, I enter the fog to face my first DLC boss. Trying to keep back so that I can cast my rings at her. It takes me a while to get used to the fact that casting magic is with the heavy attack instead. I get a frost proc, a stagger, Then it's time for phase 2. It was all going great, but she swung faster than I could heal. I need some more prep work to defeat her. These rings seem to be a great hunting tool. The long range on this is sick. Let's test it out on Twinkletoes. Yep, the range is definitely coming in clutch. Stab! Stab! Here comes the lightning show. And there I go. Jumping past this boy, just kidding, he hit me. And grabbing the two-handed sword tally from the chest. This will enhance two-handed weapon attacks by 15%. Switching the tallies, some sick parkour, yep, totally intentional. And from the base I yoinked the twin-headed turtle tally, which greatly raises stamina recovery. Back at Console Ensis, I equipped the new tally and enter the fog. Hello Rilana, I'm back once more. Alrighty then, I still have some more work to do. I try going in shirtless for intimidation and to be light loaded. Alright, I'll come back later then. So I grabbed the Oh Mother gesture from Bonnie Village for later on, and I stopped by for a chat with Ymir. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the spells that I want yet. So let's head to the finger runes of Rhea first, giving this finger a little smooch, and getting the Crimson Sea tally for that extra healing efficiency. Then I return to Ymir and buy 2 new spells, the Glintstone Nail and the Glintstone Nails, tossing them in my spell slots, and back to Rilana, shirtless once again. I stagger, stabby stabs, and she's finally down. Talking to Enya at round table to get Rilana's armor. Hey, how did I actually manage on my first try? Never mind. Running through the maze known as the Specimen Storehouse. Grabbing the Impenetrable Torrent spell, that goes into my final spell slot. And who better to try them out on? The Stagger Machine strikes again. Stab, slash. That was close. One final stab to the face. First try, let's go! Hey, why do you have to show that? Now for this thorny prick. I stick to stabbing since I'm more comfortable with melee at this point. Quickly getting it down to phase 2. Now I keep my distance and cast my rings. Getting a frost, stab, stab! Time for phase 3. Slashing at the head, then casting the rings. Alternating between attacks, getting me the dub. Running through the ancient ruins of Ra, till I find the hippo. And the Stagger Machine takes him down. Exterminator time. The Stagger Machine! I did miss that follow-up though. A frost, stab, stab, bye bye. Since I'm on a roll, let's go back to the Dancing Beast. Another stagger strikes again? Running into the finger runes of Dio and blowing into this finger. Going up, it's Golden Hippo time. And I run right into his mouth. I deserve that. But I do get a stagger, so that's a good trade-off. I stab as he charges at me with his teeth. And he goes down. Running through the castle and leaping off the side. Sliding down the long ladder. Rolling into the hidden passage and hopping into the coffin for a ride. Emerging in Skadu Altus and making my way to the Eastern Nameless Mausoleum. Impaling Thrust seems to be the way to go, but her katana swings too fast and she cuts me down. So I strip down, going in shirtless for the bonus intimidation and speed. The Impaling Thrust unlocks her for a few seconds, so I keep using that till she goes down and I collect her armor, following it up with killing a hippo with a stagger and another one with a few jabs. Time for some darkness. Just kidding, I have a torch this time, meaning I can see the danger as I run straight into it. Into the fog I go. Hello Inquisitor. A little backstab here, a stagger there, ghosts everywhere, but that won't stop me. Down you go. Into the Abyssal Woods, I eliminate the Maddening Hand, I sneak past some untouchables, and run into Midra's Mancy. Hello Screamer. Guess he was excited to see me. Time to see the real you. Okay, not as excited as I thought. I'll be back. Instead, I go to speak to Ymir. And poof, he's gone. Pushing his throne and opening the way below. Running into Anna, I stay far away and cast my rings at her, as she tries to get to me, impaling her when she gets close. Blowing into one last finger, warping to Mother Dearest. I seem to be having some problems with tanking damage and my FP running out. So I equip my Magic Scorpion Tally, Rashaxa's armor set, and the beloved Stardust Tally. and head back in. This time she stands no chance. My magic is decimating her. I get hit by her lasers, but I raise my sword, casting my rings, and she goes down. And I'm shirtless once more. Back to the Cathedral of Manus, and I get ambushed by Yolan. My magic misses, and he's trying to block my attacks, but he ends up impaled. So then Ymir emerges. Keeping a distance, I use my magic, but then he starts to teleport and waste my FP. So I move closer and spam my magic, stabbing at the hands he throws at me. I charge at him for a stab, but his fingers take me out. Equipping the two-handed sword tally, my shield, and some armor, I run back in, killing Yolan swiftly. Then I start spamming Ymir with the rings, switching to flinging my daggers at him, then running in for stabs between his attacks. There, go join your mother. And I get his maternal staff, boosting finger spells by 15%. Some rooftop parkour in Nokron, lighting some altars, then touching the remains to fight the regal ancestor spirit. Spamming my rings at it demolishes it in seconds. So then I head back to speak to my queen, and she gives me the inverted statue. Returning to the specimen storehouse to deal with Mesmer first, back to being shirtless, I head in. It's a battle of impaling thrusts, but he's cheating with his fire damage. I punish that with a stagger, sending him to phase 2. Snaky Boy comes out, and I stab at the head each time it lands. It tries to chomp at me, but I stab, and then it's gone. So I head to Inner Limb, jumping on some rooftops. Oh hello there birdie, we have the same spell. Down we go, grabbing the Gravebird helm. This does take me to medium load momentarily, but it boosts my ring damage by 15%, so it's worth it. Switching to Relana's gloves, and back to light load baby. Hopping down into the Siofra Aqueduct, I run into the battle with the Valiant Gargoyles. The nail and staff combo annihilate the first one. Staying beneath the second one, I stab and slash at it, till it pukes on me. I flee the Sting Cloud. 2 more jabs take it out, placing the inverted timer in the Carian study hall, causing an earthquake. Now everything is upside down, or right side up, and I turned it to Sia. Not quite as skilled though. Going to Rennie's Rise, I use the portal to get to Ancient River, running past everything to get to Noxtella, and going down this lift, this one, and this one, to get to the Lake of Rot. Hopping into another coffin, cause why not? And stepping into the fog to face Estelle. Using my thorns, I slowly nicked at his L-bar. I go up close, slashing at his skull. My stabs slaughter him. So then heading to Volcano Manor, running around in the dark to get outside. Some parkour for the stone sword key, pushing this lever for the shortcut and stepping into the hole. Hello big boy, go to sleep. My thorns pierce through him and he's at half health before he starts roly-poling around. There you go back to sleep. Summoning my thorns, I pierce him to bits. Traversing across the manor, I get to the portal and teleport to the next battle, the God-Devouring Serpent. Using the rings gives me an insane range, so I keep a distance and spam them at him. Getting a stagger and continuing with my constant barrage of rings, he's down, getting through his first phase almost unscathed. Time for the real challenge, Rykard. Using the same tactic, I stay away and spam my rings. Managing to get a stagger, I keep spamming, and the Lord of Blasphemy crumbles. Entering Castle Sol, I make my way to the other side of the castle, towards Commander Naal. First dealing with the ghosties, then giving him my full attention, casting my rings at him, and thrusting my sword when he's in range. He stands no chance against my dual attacks. Taking the lift up, I grab the first half of the secret medallion, then speaking to Albus in the village of Albanoris to get to the second half. Stepping into the grand lift, using the medallion to open up the secret passage. Entering into the Evergol, it's time to light some statues. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Back to reality, so let's run up the stairs and portal away. Big tree! Down we go. Hiya Loretta, how do you like my spikes? Slow and tedious, but they slowly chip at her health. Then I'm back to stabbing. God, I love this weapon. Running through this place, sticking to the high ground, I launch my nail at some web slingers. Opening the chest, I grab the Dragon Crest Great Shield. This greatly reduces the physical damage I take. Another fog, another boss. I spam my rings at her, getting a frost. I run, keeping a distance from her sharp blade. Spamming some more, getting another frost. Switching to some thrusts, and stabbing her into phase 2. As she spawns in, I send waves of thorns at her. Then I flee. Actually? Yo, I bled her. Is she dead? Yeah, she is. Easy! Back to the Sulphur Aqueduct to hop into another coffin to get to the Deep Root Depths, killing another putrid avatar. Then, running on water like Red Jesus, I charge at Fia's champions, missing at first, then impaling them with 2 hits. Rogier spawns in, and I stun lock him with attacks till he vanishes. Then, it's a fairly easy 3v1. Using the impaling thrusts, I decimate their health bars. 1 down, 2 to go. Lionel goes down next, and 1 strong thrust kills the remaining champion. After slaughtering her champions, I ask Fia to hold me. Standing over her, I enter her dream to face Fortisax. Lightning Boy does not do very well against my rings, so I keep a distance and spam them at him, wiping him out. Jumping off of floating rocks, taking a brief nap, and waking up to face Blassie. Using my rings again, his health melts away. I get a stagger. It turns tedious when he teleports all over, but I get a last minute frost and he drops. Back to the main path, I run up the hill, killing the Trine Sentinel to clear the path to Malaket. Beast Boy eats up my rings, and Malaket comes out to play. Using the pillars to block his flurry of attacks, backing away, I spam the rings at him, getting a frost, and as he's launching into an attack, I stab, and down he goes. I take the lift up to Gideon, where I interrupt his yapping with my thorns. Actually, this is actually okay. Why is this suddenly doing like so much? Why did I suddenly start doing, like before it was doing this, then after a bit it just went zoom. I ain't gonna complain. Okay, Mr. Garby Hands, your turn to face my rings. Okay, let's switch to the nail. No, I don't want your hugs. Hey yo, personal space, my boy. Okay, stabbing it is then. Apart from the final boss, all base game bosses were defeated. So let's finish off the DLC. First up is Big Boy Bale. These rings might be one of my favorite spells in this game. Not only do they have an insane range, their damage is also great. I don't know how I didn't die there. Come on. I need a frost proc to happen yesterday. Okay. There we go. First try, Bale. Let's go. Sorry. Jumping down some ledges into the stone coffer fissure. Tossing my rings and clearing the pot. Distracting the Crusader with my rings, I leap away from him, right to my death. At least he jumped down too, so I'll take it. Cliff jumping off the head to fight the Carian Knight. Now this boyo is immune to most statuses, so I have to either go with Old Reliable and slash him, or I can fire off some nails to get the job done. I choose the latter to stay out of his range, and look at that damage. And this should be the death of you. Yeah, easy was his name-o. Told you I'd be back, Mr. Frenzy. I alternate between my thorns and my rings, keeping myself well out of its range. I get a frost, and I stab him into a stagger. Spinning around each other, I thrust once more, and he finally goes down. Easy! Returning to Inner Limb to face Lita and her companions. And things didn't go smoothly. They do so much damage. I ended up taking a break and going to the graves by the cathedral to collect a new spell, the Cherishing Fingers. What the hell is that? Yep, cool, thanks. Wow, that was useful.
A few moments later.
At this point, I wanted to just be done with this fight, so I stuck with some good old-fashioned stabbing. I pretty much stun lock Dryleaf, then he heals and Lida leaps in. When there's enough space, I use Impaling Thrust for some extra damage, otherwise I stick to my stabbing. And then there was one. Now it's a fair fight. Stun locking her, backing away, then stabbing again. She's finally been defeated. Only the final boss is left. And let's just say, it was not an easy fight. This was also pre-nerf, so it was extra painful. Okay. That did not work out as planned. Damn it! He had the continuation. Oh yeah, this fight's easy. Yeah, I think I lost my mind at this point. Some attempts I was so close to victory, so I kept trying. Finally, after so many attempts, after coming so close to death, I slash him down to nothing. Let's go! Now only one boss stood between me and completing the challenge, and step into the final fog, launching my rings and getting beamed in the face. As he swings at me, I slash, slicing at him. I give a mighty thrust, impaling him, and the Elden Beast emerges. Staying right beneath him, I slash upwards, and the sound of glass shattering is music to my ears. The music intensifies, and my sword swings wildly. He rolls over on me, stab. Dodging another roll, I swing one final time, and the god is slain, crowning me as the new Elden Lord. And there you go. That's how I managed to beat Elden Ring, using the Stagger Machine, aka the Carian Knight build. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section down below. You can catch me live on Twitch, link in the description, and I'll see you all in the next one. Toodles. YouTube's recommending this video now, so be sure to check that out. And click here to subscribe, so you don't miss out on any uploads.